Good morning, children. Today we learn the 6th chapter in science. The name of the chapter is Birds and Their Bodies. We all know about birds. Birds are the animals which can fly. Let us start this chapter by answering these questions. You have 2 legs and 2 arms. We have 2 legs and 2 arms. What about birds? They also have 2 feet. But what do they have in the place of arms? How do these help them? We have 2 legs and 2 arms, whereas birds also contains 2 legs as well as arms. The arms in birds are modified to form wings, which they do for flight or to fly. We have hair on our bodies. What do birds have in the place of hair? Birds, instead of hair, they have feathers. Feathers covering their body. Feathers also help the bird in flight. Now, after learning this chapter, we will be able to describe the body of a bird. Identify the types of feathers and their functions. Identify the kinds of beaks, feet, and claws that birds have and how they use them. Now, let us start this chapter. How do birds fly? Birds are the only animals with feathers on their body. You can have a look at here. Birds are the only animals in which their body is covered by feathers. They have wings instead of arms. They have wings instead of arms. We have arms, but in birds, arms are modified to form wings. So these wings help them to fly. Most of them can use their wings to fly. Most of the birds, not all the birds, most of the birds will use wings for flight or to fly. They have strong muscles attached to the wings. They have strong muscles attached to the wings. They use these muscles to flap their wings. Flap means to beat the wings. So especially you might have seen while flying birds, they beat their wings also. Few birds, they beat their wings to generate speed which is required for flight. To beat the wings, which is actually called as flap, they require the muscles associated with these wings. Birds are light because their bones are thin and hollow. So this helps them to fly easily. Birds are light. Why the body of the bird is light? Because they have thin and hollow bones. So these thin and hollow bones, they help the bird to fly easily. Have you noticed the shape of bird's body? It is narrow at the front and back and broad in the middle. So this shape helps the bird to fly. Aeroplanes also have this shape. You might have observed a bird, especially in the case of a bird, front, they have got a narrow region, especially the beak. And even the tail region also, that will be narrow. Whereas at the center they have got broad, somewhat similar to an aeroplane. Do you know this actually gives an aerodynamic design for the bird to fly? Because especially when the bird fly, you might have observed, it will keep the beak forward. It will point the beak forward. The beak will help in piercing the air when it is flying. To fly, a bird jumps into the air. It then flaps its wings to push itself upwards and forwards in the air. It uses its tail to turn while flying. It spreads out its wings to stop. You might have observed the way the bird will fly. First, the bird will jump into the air, then it will flap its wings, it will beat its wings to push itself upwards and forward in the air. Then it will use its tail mainly to turn. The tail is actually used to turn while flying. So especially when it is making a right turn, the tail will actually go the other way, other direction it will go. Okay, that is, if it is making a right turn, the tail will go slightly left. If it is making left turn, the tail will come slightly right. Okay, then it will spread its wing. Okay, mainly like it can spread its wings either to float in the air, otherwise to stop also. There are more than 10,000 different kinds of birds in the world. Do you know there are more than 10,000 different varieties of birds in the world? Some birds such as the ostrich, emu and kiwi cannot fly. There are few birds like ostrich. You may be knowing it is the biggest bird. Then emu, then kiwi. Kiwi is the bird found in New Zealand. So these birds cannot fly. Though they have wings, they cannot fly. The reason is their body weight is more. So mainly because of their body weight, these birds can't fly. They have given the meaning of this. Flap, to move up and down or from side to side, especially wings. They move up and down or side to side. That is called flap. Hollow means with a hole or empty space inside. So inside there will be empty space. That is actually called hollow. So this hollow term, it is mainly used for bone, hollow bone in bird, lightweight bone. You can have a look at in this picture. A bird is jumping up to fly. Did you know? The owl can turn its head around 3/4 of a circle, almost one circle like, not completely, almost a circle. The owl can turn its head. Okay, completely, almost 360-degree turn they say. You can only turn your head off a circle, whereas we can turn only off a circle. Okay, don't try to turn the head completely. It will cause strain in our neck muscles. Don't try those. Only bird can do it, especially owl. Hummingbirds are the only birds that can fly backwards. Usually all the birds, they actually fly forward. But a hummingbird is the only bird that can fly backward. Feathers. Feathers helps a bird to fly. Feathers are present covering the body of a bird. They help to fly. They also keep its body warm. Feather will also keep the body of the bird warm. The surface of feathers is oily. So the body of the bird does not get wet. Usually the surface of feather will be oily. So due to that, the body of the bird doesn't get wet. It is like wearing a raincoat. It is compared almost for a raincoat. So raincoat will give protection from rainwater. Same manner, the feathers of the bird, as they don't get wet, so they give protection from water. In some birds, the feathers are brightly colored. In few birds you might have seen the feathers are brightly colored. Birds have three kinds of feathers. There are three types of feathers in birds. Flight feathers, down feathers, body feathers. You can have a look at. So the three kinds of feathers. One is flight feathers, down feathers, body feathers. First we learn about flight feathers. As the name indicates, they help in flight or when the bird fly. Flight feathers are long feathers found in the wings and tails of the birds. You can have a look at these are long feathers. Where they are found? Mainly in wings as well as tail. They are used for flying. So they mainly help in flight or flying. Second is down feathers. They are soft and fluffy. You can have a look at. So they are very soft and fluffy means like somewhat scattered like. Soft, light, having air. So that is what actually called as fluffy. So little broader like, filled with air like. Okay, so that completely it is scattered all in all different direction. Soft, light and having air. That is what fluffy is. They are found next to the skin. Usually it is found next to the skin. They keep the birds warm. So these down feathers. So they keep the body of the bird warm. And they are present very close to the skin. So these feathers. Next one is body feathers. You can have a look at body feathers. They cover the body and give birds their shape. They cover their body externally. Okay, they are present above the down feathers. Okay, they cover the body and they give one proper shape to the bird. So these are actually different variety of feathers. Now, looking back, answer the following questions. Why can humans not fly? There are two main reasons why humans can't fly. One, we don't have wings. Second important reason is our body weight is more. We don't have thin and hollow bones. We have thick and heavy bones. So these are the two reasons why we can't fly. No wings and we have heavy bones. Second one, name the three kinds of feathers found on birds. These are the three kinds of feathers found on birds. Flight feathers, down feathers, body feathers.